Tony, I'm going to say something, and I think you're going to laugh at it. When I saw that the Cowboys brought on Ben McAdoo as a fucking advisor, I thought, oh my God, how can this get any worse? And then I saw the Saints draft, and I'm like, fuck it. Can't be that bad.
I mean, that's fair, but Ben McAdoo anywhere near your football team is a fucking cancer.
Oh, man. Yep. Yeah, I don't like it, but at least he isn't who drafted for the Saints, so...
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, he couldn't have done that confusing of a draft. Oh, well, no, that's in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, let's just give our grades. This is easily a C-, D+ for me because they really fucked up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to... I even actually kind of want to give them a D because I most of their picks didn't make any sense to me. They didn't really add up. Or, I mean, even their first, yeah, I'm going to have to go with a D because I don't understand the philosophy. It's like, they were like, oh, well, for my son's 18th birthday, we're going to have him choose.
Yeah, the point of...
very little was addressed, too, which is what's concerning. Like, all right, where do you think you're going to get this from? But... right now, I have to give it a D.
The point of the draft is to build and get better, and the Saints did not do that. They did not get better. They didn't do
either of those things.
They are not going to be a better team because of who they drafted. Almost every team that drafted is going to be better because of who they drafted. The Saints are one of 3 teams that are not. If I remember correctly, it's only 3. Other than that, I think all of the other teams either made the obvious choice or made a choice that's going to make them better. The Saints fucked up. Dan O'Shea, your thought? I say I'm going to go with a D+, and Tony goes with D. What are you thinking? Do we have Dan O'Shea still?
I don't know.
Sorry, I muted myself because I was watching.
There he is.
I'm rating that C- or C- D+ realm only because I like the Adebo pick.
All right, and now we're going to finish this off with the team that what do they even need? You know, like it's the complete opposite of the Saints. The Saints need like everything. The Buccaneers need basically nothing. So let's go. Round 1 pick number 32, Joe Tryon, linebacker from Washington. Round 2, Kyle Trask, quarterback, Florida. Round 3, Robert Hainsey, tackle from Notre Dame. Round 4, Jalen Darden, wide receiver from North Texas. Round 5, KJ Britt, linebacker from Auburn. Round 7, Chris Wilcox, corner from BYU. Round 7, Grant Stewart, linebacker from Houston. And nothing here really sticks out to me past the first 2 picks. I don't know that I can give a worst pick because they literally just looked at their roster and is like, okay, we need a backup here, let's draft a tackle. We need a backup here, let's draft a corner. Because remember, they're returning all 22 starters on offense and defense. So they're returning the entire Super Bowl team that started the game. Crazy. First pick.
You don't see that entering a draft. Well, entering for the most part. Ever.
Crazy. So I guess I have to say my favorite pick of theirs is Joe Tryon because he's going to be a rotational piece and he's going to be a very good rotational piece. Don't be surprised if he ends up being a starter at some point throughout the season and ends up getting the bulk of the snaps, especially when you've got some guys who are going to be a little bit pricier. Maybe they look to move on from some linebackers that they have because they drafted him. But really, what do you... It's like that dilemma. What do you buy for someone who has everything? Like...
Yeah, that's true. Like, I don't really care for Trask going going where he did, but in the same sense, Trask doesn't have to do anything. He gets to sit behind Tom Brady for a few years, and it might actually do him good.
He's almost exactly like Tom Brady. Like,
I did like my favorite pick, probably just because we've seen this happen with Tom Brady, that wide receivers you don't necessarily see out of there, but Jalen Darden in the 4th round out of North Texas, like, he's the kind of guy that would slide into a slot, which also, God forbid, if Antonio Brown decides to, I don't know, beat up a delivery driver or something again. Yeah,
he is a little undersized, but a lot like Kadarius Toney, his speed and abilities really make up for it.
Not only that, but, I mean, think about all the undersized wide receivers that he's worked with before, as far as Welker and Edelman. Like, that fits right into his wheelhouse of what he's comfortable with as far as Brady's concerned.
Exactly, yeah. So it's definitely a solid pick. There are no bad picks. It's not like they drafted a running back when they've got Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette, and, you know, drafted a running back in their second pick. You don't like Kyle Trask. I think this is the perfect situation to put Trask in, because
it's not that I don't like Trask. I just didn't expect teams to view Trask as highly, but looking at where Tampa is and where they were drafting, like, it makes perfect sense, so I can't hate it.
This is one of the, I said, if there are going to be two teams that will look at Kyle Trask, and they're the Steelers and the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers got him. So I think it makes a lot of sense, especially because he needs development. Who better to develop behind than the guy whose body seems like it never stopped developing? You know?
Seriously, yeah. Fuck that guy so much.
I really don't have.
Yeah, no, pretty much you guys are hitting exactly what my points here were. Trask, you know, for this team makes perfect sense to sit and develop. You know, they've got an embarrassment of riches. They really don't have any needs. They re-signed basically everybody. Tryon's really good, a little bit raw. He gets to learn under Shaq Barrett and JPP. That's amazing. I don't think he'll start this year, but next year for sure. Darden, great receiver. I thought he'd get some playing time because I thought they would draft a receiver that would get some playing time because I didn't think they'd be bringing back both Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin, but they did. But he's you know, a nice pick at the. When did they get him? The 4th round, 5th round?
Yeah, 4th round.
That's a great pick there.
And mind you, when they drafted him, Antonio Brown wasn't cleared to come back. Like, and even with him assuming he'd be cleared, you know the gamble he is. Like, he's proven it time and time again. Yeah, he might be good for a while, but how long until the Burfitt syndrome hits again?
Yeah. It's very true. And they got Hainsey, who's a very solid backup-looking offensive lineman. Maybe he can crack the starting lineup.
If he went to
a nice depth.
If he went to an offensive tackle needy team, he's a starter.
Yeah. Yep.
And he gets to learn in that defense. And yeah, he could be a starter, but imagine what he can develop into.
He's going to be.
Yeah, sorry, go
ahead. The only word missing from what I was saying was good. He's going to be good.
The only pick I didn't love would probably be KJ Britt. Good hitter, but doesn't really do anything else.
Really? I like him behind Levante David. I think he's going to be good. I really like... Shocker, I love SEC defensive players that get drafted. So I like KJ Britt quite a bit, and I think, especially
if
getting
you
to
learn some stuff behind David, then sure. Just as a prospect, I didn't love him, but you know, that doesn't mean he can't develop.
Who better to learn behind?
To develop than the best team in the league that looks to have, only improved on that.
Yeah, he gets to learn from Devin White and Levante David.
For me, that's what's most impressive about this draft is you literally drafted players to learn. Players who are skilled at their position nonetheless, but they don't have to do anything. You're not asking the world of them. You're like, Jay, just come in, hang out, go through our workouts, pay attention in practice, follow the old guys. Don't worry, your turn is coming.
This is very much, the way I'm thinking about this is very much like a baseball draft. You drafted guys to go through single, double, and triple A, and then when they're ready, they're there.
That's kind of how Tampa approached it, yeah. That's a fair comparison.
So they're going to get snaps. It's not like you're never going to see KJ Britt on the field. It's not like you're never going to see, you're probably not going to see much of Trask. But you're definitely going to see.
Trask is the only one you're probably not going to see much out of. But a lot of these guys are going to get their reps in. They're not going to be a lot, but they'll get them in.
I think Joe Tryon has a real opportunity, in my opinion, to get solid reps. And like I said, I don't think he's necessarily going to be the starter. But if he gets named starter at some point this season, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I could see that too.
It's tough.
It's
having so many things.
For not being, overwhelming and not being so, big dramatic picks, it's a really impressive draft, actually. And a lot of credit goes to the front office and coaching staff for drafting like this.
Yeah, if I'm any of these players and I think I'm going to be a starter, I'm pissed. Because I know I'm not going to start. If Kyle Trask thought a team was going to take him and he'd be stepping in immediately, nope, he's pissed. Because it's not happening. Oh, so that being said, I don't want to give them an A+, but they're the closest to an A+ that I think we've got. Because and it's also, maybe what we thought about Belichickian was actually Brady. Just come in, do your job. Maybe that was all Brady. Because it sounds like they're drafting players to come in, do their job.
I don't think it was all Brady. I think Brady took what Belichick gave him and was like, all right, you're not going to appreciate me. You don't think I can do this? I'm going to take everything you taught me and then tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah. This draft...
That's basically what he did. Honestly, last year when he was fucking looking around and was a free agent, he was like, yo, who wants to go win a Super Bowl? Put your hands up. No. Tampa? Yeah, sure.
He just wanted to get closer to avocado so he can make his own ice cream and stop spending so much.
Yeah, probably. And the fact he looked at Bruce Arians, he's like, listen, dude, you do the defense, I'll take care of the offense, and we'll be just fine. Just don't fuck with me, dude.
In all honesty, if I'm a quarterback, a guy that I want to play for is Byron Leftwich. So. Yeah,
no, bro, sorry. We're also seeing this trend happen in a lot of sports. Alumni or former players becoming extremely good coaches. Look what Juwan Howard has done at Michigan with their basketball team.
Yeah.
The argument that was being had, I don't know if you caught it on Sports Radio today, with Krzyzewski retiring. Krzyzewski's setting up one of his coaches to do that, but in my opinion, why not pursue somebody like Grant Hill?
That's a good question. What about Christian Laettner?
Well, because everyone fucking hates Christian Laettner.
There was a whole documentary about it.
I know. Oh, Dan, hang on. I got to throw this in there because I haven't talked to you in weeks, and I feel bad for it, and I probably shouldn't put it in the group chat. I've been watching a lot of the A&E documentary series about the wrestlers.
I haven't watched any of them yet. I'm going to. The Mick Foley one. I
highly recommend them.
I think the Mick Foley one's going to make me cry, and I'm not ready for that.
Chaz is an avid wrestling fan, so even he was saying, he was like, I have so much more respect for Mick Foley now after watching that than I did, and I had a ton of respect for him before I walked into this documentary.
The entire time of him wrestling, his whole thing was, how do I make The Undertaker better? How do I make The Rock better? He never needed a